A few hours later, there she was, standing at the door like nothing had happened. She looked polished, like she'd spent way too much time trying to perfect that calm, collected look. Her hair was done, makeup flawless. I could tell she'd rehearsed this. She was ready to sell me whatever she'd come up with. I stepped aside and let her in without a word. She walked in like she still belonged here, sitting on the couch like it was any other day. "Thanks for letting me come by," she said softly, like she was doing me a favor. I leaned against the wall. "What's up?" She took a deep breath, her hands clasped together like this was some big performance. "I've been thinking a lot," she began. "Here we go," I thought. "And I think I've come up with a way for us to move forward." She continued, her tone too measured, too rehearsed. I nodded, keeping my face neutral. "All right, let's hear it." "Well," she said, clearly building up to something she thought was genius. "I think the best thing for us right now is to put the wedding plans on hold. Just temporarily while I take the time I need to get clarity on everything. That way, we don't lose the progress we've made, and we can pick things back up once I'm sure about us." I stared at her, waiting for the twist. She wasn't joking. She actually thought this was reasonable. "That's your big plan?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. "Yes," she said, nodding like she just solved a world crisis. "It's practical, Liam. We've put so much time, effort, and money into this relationship. I don't want to throw it all away over something that might not even matter in the long run." Something that might not even matter, that phrase kept bouncing around in my head. She was talking about us, our relationship, like it was some investment portfolio she didn't want to write off. I felt a laugh bubble up, but I held it back. "Not yet. Let her keep going. You're okay with this, right?" she asked, tilting her head slightly, like she was genuinely confused why I hadn't reacted yet. "Sure," I said, shrugging. Her eyes flicked to mine, like she didn't quite believe I'd agreed so easily. "Wait, you're okay with it?" "Yeah," I said, keeping my tone even. "If that's what you need, go for it." She blinked, clearly thrown off. She'd probably expected me to argue, to fight, maybe even beg her to stay. Instead, I gave her nothing. I just didn't want her to think this meant I didn't care. She added quickly, trying to fill the silence. "I just need some space to figure out what I really want." "It's not forever, got it?" I said, nodding for a moment. She just stared at me, trying to read my face, but I wasn't giving her anything. Let her stew in her own awkwardness. She stood up, smoothing her hands over her jeans. "I'll stay at my mom's for a bit," she said. "It's not forever. We'll talk once I've had some time." "All right," I said, keeping my voice neutral. She hesitated, like she wanted to say something more, but then she just grabbed her bag and headed for the door. "Thanks for understanding," she said, pausing before stepping out. I just nodded again, keeping my face blank. After she left, I stood there for a moment, wondering how I couldn't see her as a wife anymore. She was gone, figuring out her ex, and she actually thought I was sitting here waiting for her to figure out if I was good enough to fit into her perfect little fantasy life. But she didn't get it. This wasn't her